one-time
ongoing expenses, that's what, okay.
That's how, you know, when I look at it, I look at the capital projects that we have. Those are projects that if next year we didn't have all that sales tax, we don't have to do all those projects. And so that gives us kind of a balancing number that we just automatically, we just don't put projects in the capital, and then that helps us through the process. So here's the highlights on the expenditures, and then we can go through any of the line items that you want to. Medical benefits, again, we're waiting on the numbers. We did put in this budget, the 58,000 was for on the health HRA accounts, where we reimburse, the health reimbursement accounts. So we left that in there. We basically put a 5% as a placeholder, because what we heard from Blue Cross, if we do go with the same plan that we had with them, is close to a 5% increase. So what we currently have. I sent out what we put in here. So I pulled up under the CPI index this year, from April to April, we've had the highest increase. It's 4.2% in the CPI index that I've seen in the last 10 years. And that's evident somewhat in what's happening with salaries and things out there. We did have, we had some issues with some of our, I'll say some of our parks folks and some others that saw the ability to go somewhere else at $16, $17 an hour with signing bonuses of $2,400. Oracle was one of them. And we almost lost a couple of our employees. We made a couple modifications on, we've tried to bring up the bottom portion of our folks that were like 14, we're now 15, and now we're up to 16 starting, because KFC and some of these other places are paying that. And so we did some modifications briefly there. What this represents, the 105,762, and I put it in there as a placeholder, and you'll need to tell us what to do. But with that cost of living of 4.2, I put in a 2.5 merit and a 2.5 COLA, or we could mix it around. We could do a 3 merit or whatever. But I put a 5% increase in the budget, and so as a placeholder, you can think about it. I just think where we're at right now with salaries and stuff. One of the other pieces is we just got the salary survey. Sean hasn't had a chance to go through it, and I want to get her recommendations on where things are. Because right now, when people can't get into homes, it's hard to bring people here and fill positions. We're having a hard time this summer finding really anybody to take the positions that we have. Alan's shaking his head.
Yeah.
Well,
we've thought we filled positions until they 2 or 3 weeks later say, we can't move here, we can't get here. So they want to come, but they have no place to go.
And doctors can't. We can't. Kootenai Health has made offers, and the doctors cannot move here. So the other side, though, I mean, it's a hard one to figure out. But right now, minimum wage is $14 an hour. I mean, call it whatever you want. But if minimum wage is 14, I don't want to go chase money. I've never seen a salary consultant recommend reductions in salary. So just so we all understand that process. But we do understand the market, and we have good people who, and Percy helps in that regard, so do benefits, but still our minimum wages change dramatically. My question though, Sandy or Alan or Brett, will it change back in July when federal unemployment discontinues?
I hope that the issue of not being able to find people to work will change.
That's, I mean, the 1,200, isn't it 300 a week?
It is.
Yeah, and that.
So I'm hoping that the
stops.
places like Kentucky Fried Chicken and
Doesn't matter any.
all of those, I'm hoping that they will not have as much trouble as they're having right now. I mean, there are places that are, the Dairy Queen in Rathdrum is drive up only because they can't staff the restaurant. And there's lots of places that are like that. I'm hoping that will go away. I don't think it's gonna help the wages. I think the wages are gonna stay.
That's probably a fair analysis, but at least the workforce can expand and supply and demand is still supply and demand. Okay.
I mean, you've set a base out there with the number of people. That's gonna hold that salary base, tend to hold it in place to a degree. Maybe over time, those people don't move up as fast and the bottom may drop a little bit, but I don't see it changing substantially.
Right,
Go ahead, Matt.
I have a question, going back to medical benefits, you said that the premium increase will be about 5% is what you're thinking?
Well, that's what we put in the budget, well, and that's what we heard from Blue Cross under our current plan. If we stayed with that plan, was between 4 to 5%, was close
So
to 5%.
that's actually pretty low, because you've seen double-digit increases over the years, so
that's-
that's
yeah.
good, that's why I'm asking if that's what you've seen.
I now
Yeah.
didn't know if I believed it or not, and it's pretty close, because 12, it's like every year was 15%.
Yeah.
Change.
So this, that's
So
good.
that's decent for us this year, and I'm really interested to see what the 3A comes back with too, so we'll see.
Brett, when are we due to do our next update on our salary survey?
We just, we're doing, we just got the results of it, so you guys approved that like 2 months ago. We put it out, we've got the information back, but she just got it and hasn't had a chance to evaluate it, so her and I, we talked about it, so we're gonna look at, that's why I say there may be some other issues with that when it comes back. I wanted at least a placeholder first to get going on the budget, and I thought this was a good place to go. The sheriff, I put that in for the same amount for next year, to do the same thing, just, we'll see where that goes. Also, we increased, on the tree trimming, Government Way is a new one. Alan's guys, actually former Mayor McIntyre was kind of getting on us. I don't know, he's made some comments. Anyways, what we're trying to do is put in an amount that we can carry over for 3 years, and then we'll have enough to do all of Government Way and trim it every 3 years. So that's what this amount is, and Sandy is aware of that, and then we'll hold that in a fund to do that after 3 years. The other one went up as well, just the general tree trimming. I think we had like 8,000 or something before, and I think we're up several thousand.
We had like, I don't know if it was even 8,000, but we ended up spending almost.
Spent all of it. We spent 11 grand last year on
Yeah,
general
yeah,
tree
yeah,
trimming, so.
And it's tree removal, isn't it?
It is
Isn't that
tree
what
removal.
the other-
It is.
Yeah, tree removal and replacement.
So that's in right of ways or other areas to remove dangerous trees that could come down in the way. Public Works equipment rental, we had plus 27,000. Road maintenance is the big one on page 11. That's a significant increase, and I think it really, and like I said, we took this straight across what it was increased from the road maintenance from state and county, and increased our road budget because, as you know, we've got a lot of roads and we've been falling behind, and so it made Alan happy that because we're up to 500. 525.
It kind of goes to Matt's question, what percentage of the.
525.
Of the road, right, is that covered, and, and I will get that number for you, but I'm pretty sure it's under 10%, after I thought about it a little bit, it's probably 6 to 8%.
I thought it was about 10, so either one, but on that, is there a difference between doing a project and adding it to road maintenance? I'm not trying to steal your increase, but I don't wanna pay, I'd like to get something done that we couldn't get done before.
I'm with you.
Okay, instead of just using it
We've
to
been,
pay increased expenses or any
we've
type.
only really been able to just, I mean, we are deferring so much maintenance every year,
Okay.
that we're trying to get the best we can with what we got, so we don't fall farther behind, right?
Yeah, but this is the
There
greatest.
are other
blessing
things that we
have
have, that we need to get done that we probably are not doing the best we can because we just don't have the funding to do it. So
Okay.
I will be looking at those other, they will be somewhat maintenance or improvement projects, but they won't probably look like chip seal
And
projects.
how, did we go over in snow last year?
We went,
It was a really
Because-
light year and we used all our money, but we did go
Because-
really
Yeah, but
high.
it was a light year but it wasn't a light year for 2 weeks and I mean, it was brutal bad,
we're spending a lot, the de-icing
yeah?
is costing a ton of money at this point.
What about the burn dinger? By the way, that's a legal term.
The berm thing or dear?
Yeah, that was broken.
Oh, yeah, we got those all fixed, but we usually break one or two of those a year anyway.
But we're okay, I just don't wanna get, cause we were in a pickle, we did, I mean, okay.
We increased that budget by 15,000.
I know, is that enough? That was my question. If we have
Ask
gates.
Mother Nature.
No, I meant for more gates and those types of things. Mother Nature's gonna be Mother
Oh,
Nature.
yeah, well, we go through, we repair 1 or 2 to 3 gates every
Every year.
winter, so that's not having those break is not unusual, it's just having a break like on the first big storm with the worst wet snow, that's just doesn't
Okay.
make people happy, so.
Well, it got me out shoveling neighbors, so that's okay.
Brenda, are we gonna see a list of the roads that are, intended to get this maintenance for this money?
Yeah, every year, I mean, he's got a list of priorities
Yeah.
that we go through.
I'm just looking at two things. It might be easier for you, might be easier for me. I'm not gonna bug you if it's on the list.
Well, we will be developing that, and I actually talked to Dan, I don't know, maybe it was this morning, it's either this morning or yesterday. I said, let's get started on our road maintenance. It was before Brett even shared this with you. So let's get started on our road maintenance roads now for next year, so we can get that list and we can get appropriate bids out and get, any prep work we gotta do or anything like that. So I will hopefully have something here by July, and I can certainly shoot for that and share that if you'd like.
We all know you guys